We are here today with Miss Amal Al Agroobi, the director of the movie Half Emirati, which is being screened at the 9th Dubai International Film Festival. Hi, Miss Amal. Tell us a bit more about your film.
So Half Emirati is a social documentary that basically examines the social implications of being a half Emirati in a society that's so based on being pure, being a Puritan or a full Emirati. So the film basically interviews 5 different people, 2 who are half American, 1 who's half Indian, half Filipina, and half Egyptian. And I just basically wanted to hear their stories and their experiences and what it was like for them, growing up in the UAE, what kind of issues they encounter because of the way they look or how they speak. And those are the main themes that kind of run through the film. So a lot of them say they have issues with, their language or their accent, the way they look. They get teased for that. A lot of them have a lot low self-esteem. Some have accepted it and are very positive about it. So those are the kind of things that we examine in the documentary. And I think the final outcome, the conclusion, is basically saying that it's a very positive thing, and that when you're half Emirati, half something else, you are exposed to 2 different cultures, 2 different worlds. So in effect, what happens is that you get the best of both worlds. You become more open-minded, more cultured. You have a lot more going for you in your life and more educated. This is what some of the people feel in the documentary.
And what inspired you to make this documentary?
Me and my family members, we always thought, well, do you think other half Emiratis feel the same way? If somebody, for instance, is half Indian, is it kind of worse for them? Because, a lot of people stereotypically associate that with, labor workers in the country or whatnot. And that's kind of what I was curious about. And through the film, actually, this is kind of what we discovered, that in effect, one of our characters says, if you're Western, you're a little bit more lucky, because people kind of overlook you or find, you're Western, you're half Western. If you're half Arab, it depends on whereabouts on the scale you are, or where you're from, what half you're from. And then if you're either Filipino, Sri Lankan, Bengali, what they associate that with here in this country stereotypically is labor workers. And so people are automatically thinking, well, are they worse off? Do they get teased? And sometimes they do, and that's wrong, and it's bad, and it's sad, and it shouldn't be this way. So I wanted this film to kind of also be a bit of an awareness film and kind of open people's minds up and say, okay, what we're doing is wrong, and we need to change our mind about that. So I meant it in a positive way.
Okay. And how was your experience working with individuals from such diverse cultures and backgrounds?
I think it was great because a lot of them had very interesting stories. When the camera switches off, they kind of share a lot of stories about themselves, and that was very interesting. It's like, oh, my cousins do this. Do your cousins do this? And it's like, oh, ho, ho, ha, ha. Yes, we do. And it's interesting because you just kind of really, open up your eyes to these different cultures and how they function in within the UAE. If you're half Filipina, for instance, and your mother was a Christian or still kind of is involved with that. Sometimes you would celebrate Christmas, or your mother's side of the family would have Christmas, so you would be a part of that. And then, for me, myself, I've not really experienced that, but I know that they have, so they share their stories. For the Americans, obviously, Thanksgiving is part of their culture. So when you're half Emirati, half American, you get to enjoy the American culture as well, so you might have Thanksgiving dinner at home. So that's very interesting. Also, the crew are very diverse. My producer, Hannah Maki, is Yemeni British. The cinematographer is Polish American, and the editor is Indian, and the colorist is Taiwanese. Yes. So it's I think with film, usually you work with a very diverse crew, and if you're lucky, very diverse cast as well.
And is there anything you would like your audience to take away after watching your film through this documentary?
I'm not quite sure. I'm very I'm very keen to see what the audience think of the film. I've shown it to a few individuals. I've had people who've cried. I have people who've got angry and said, "Oh, this is not true. This is ridiculous." I've had people who have really kind of relished in the film and enjoyed it, who are not half Emirati but are half something else from a different country or whatnot. And so that was very interesting. So I'm curious to see how the audience responds to it. But most of all, I want them to understand, because documentary is truth, and documentary kind of reveals what people's feelings are, and I want people to know how other people feel about being half Emirati. And I kind of hope that they take that away and say, look, it's a positive thing, and we shouldn't be teasing them, and we shouldn't be putting them down. And I kind of want them to go away with a positive image of half Emiratis, and kind of celebrate it as something we have as part of our culture and community.
And how has Dubai International Film Festival been instrumental in helping your film push forward and break through and push it to a global scale?
I think, well, I keep saying this, I'll say it again over and over, but I am so proud that my film is in Dubai International Film Festival. I wouldn't say a dream come true for me, because it's just been really mind-blowing. I haven't had a chance to kind of catch up as a filmmaker. I came to Dubai Film Festival, as I do every year, and say, I'm going to watch films. This year, I'm the filmmaker, and I haven't had any time to watch any of the films, I've just been overwhelmed with interviews and articles and reviews, and everyone just kind of approaching me, which has been such a blessing. It's really kind of given me a chance to network. It's really kind of helped me as a filmmaker just broaden my perspectives and meet different people and kind of be involved with different things, learn. DIFF has organized a lot of meetings for us, which has been incredible, a lot of lunches for us. It's great. I'm very happy it's here. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Agroobi. It has been a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you.
That was Ms. Amal Al Agroobi, the director of the movie Half Emirati. With camera crew Natasha Khera and Hilary Barakia, this is Shirin Pervez from Dubai International Film Festival for Manipal Dubai TV.